Now, the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
It was every second, every one of your long meetings, every one of the practices, every second. This made it worth it.
Just as the clock was ticking down, it was just super cool to see everyone, how excited they were, and just such a special moment, as a group, and that's what we were working for since July.
When you look at our conference, how challenging it is, and really it's a body of work right into, the way it ended up with the 1 and 2 playing, and we had to go on the road and get it done, and yeah, it was a special moment for sure.
Last weekend, Michigan State's hockey team made a bit of history by winning its first ever Big Ten title and its first conference title in 23 years. The Spartans took down Wisconsin 5-2 2 Fridays ago and will be the #1 seed in the Big Ten tournament, which means MSU does not play this weekend. We had a chance to catch up with second-year head coach Adam Nightingale, and while he's excited to win the conference title, there's something else he gets just as excited for. Alrighty, well, obviously the big question is, how does it feel to be a Big Ten champion?
No, it's great. Yeah, I'm super happy for our guys, our university, our community, our alumni, our fans. I think it was obviously a pretty special moment. When you look at our conference, how challenging it is, and really it's a body of work right into, the way it ended up with the 1 and 2 playing, and we had to go on the road and get it done. And yeah, it was a special moment for sure.
I know going into the game throughout the week, the guys weren't trying to make the moment too big, but then it seemed, in a video that came out from the university on Friday of they knew what was on the line, they knew what they needed to do. What did you just see in the guys Friday going into that game?
Yeah, they were excited for sure, and Wisconsin was too. I mean, they played really well. I thought there was moments where they put us on our heels, and that's what good teams do, and you got to be able to respond to those. But I thought, we kept our composure, and then in the third period, it's trying to win a championship, it's about playing your best when it matters the most, and that 20 minutes really mattered the most, and I thought we had a really good period.
May that be the game-winning goal with 7:10 to go.
What was sort of that night like? I know you guys still had to play Saturday, but knowing that you guys were Big Ten champs, did you get to celebrate it all?
A little bit in the locker room, and then I think it's a weird deal where you win, and then you're playing the same team again. So you got to get yourself back ready to go, and they're going to be excited about playing. But yeah, we had some alumni on the trip and some people around, and Alan and Jen were there, so it was cool to celebrate with everyone.
I saw after Friday that you mentioned how you really would only get excited if you caught a 30-inch walleye. So you're a big fisherman then, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, how often do you get to go out there?
Not as much as I'd like to, I just think the nature of my job. But a buddy of mine has a place in northern Minnesota. I've gone the last, I think, 17 years. So we'll bring my boys up there, and my wife and daughter have gone one time, and I think they had enough of it. And there's no power, cell phone doesn't work, and you can kind of, get off the grid. And then my parents still live up north, so we'll get up and, I have a boat, but it's hard. There's not a ton around here, so. If we get a chance to shoot up and fish with my dad, we definitely do it.
Okay, what's the biggest fish you've ever caught?
Well, you know what? I did some. I don't know if you call it deep sea or offshore last year when we had the coaches and convention in Florida. So when you're talking about fish in the ocean, those are bigger. But like freshwater, I'll probably. The northern pike, I don't know for sure how big it was, maybe 35, 40 inches, yeah.
Okay, and going back to Friday, with the game itself, obviously Wisconsin scores within the first minute of the game. What did you see from the response, especially from Trey, to really settle down and kind of ease into the game?
Yeah, no, that's who he is, right? He doesn't become flustered, and it's that's going to happen, right? They score and they pushed, and it was an unfortunate. They were leaning on us, but we actually tipped the puck in and went off our player, and yeah, he kept us in there, and and obviously we were opportunistic to make it 2-1, going into the second period, and that's what it's about. Like I said, you got to take advantage of opportunities. You're playing a good team, and I thought Reed Lebster made a couple of really good plays there that were a difference in the game.
And now, as you guys have a bye this week and get ready for the Big Ten tournament, it's basically one and done from here on out for this group. How do you approach that, knowing that it's just one game at a time, really?
Yeah, no, the nice thing for our guys, that's always been our approach, playing your best, every game, and you really got to make sure you understand momentum in games, and we're going to play good teams down the stretch here, and there's going to be moments where they lean on you, and you got to understand how to flip that and start getting the momentum on your side. And I think throughout the year, our guys have starting to understand that, but that'll be an important piece.
Being able to host too in the Big Ten tournament here, how are you going to cherish that opportunity?
Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, I mean the crowds have been so awesome. Every game's been standing room only, and they're loud and they're into it, and the Munsters have been electric. And I think that that's important to our guys, you know, and we want to make sure that, you know, understand people have decisions, you know, with their money and their finances, and to come out and support our team means a lot, and what we owe is our best effort.
What is the goal this week? Obviously, you guys don't play this weekend, but you're going to watch hockey on the weekend to see who you could be playing?
Yeah, we'll practice this week and keep helping our guys try to get better, and then for sure you'll be watching that's fun, you know, watching the scores and watching games, and as soon as we find out who we're going to be playing, we'll start preparing.
So after this weekend's games are done, the Spartans will take on the lower seed in the Big Ten tournament on March 16th right here at Munn Ice Arena. The Spartans are 11-3-1 on home ice this season, and a lot of it has to do with a newcomer. After the break, we're going to be chatting with the always confident Isaac Howard. We'll see you soon.
This segment is sponsored by Shoepad.
Experiencing a Spartans game is a lot like life. Farm Bureau Insurance sees the connection and is a proud supporter of Michigan State athletics. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
It all started with an idea.
We came here with 2 kids and a suitcase.
A business to proudly call your own.
The most gratifying part of owning a business is the relationships that have formed over the years.
Made even better by a reliable partner to support you every step of the way.
Anytime we have any questions or we need any assistance, we can go to the entire team at MSU FCU.
So when it's your moment, dream big.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
Heading into this season, sophomore Isaac Howard was one of the most anticipated new additions to Adam Nightingale's roster this season. The 31st overall pick by the Tampa Bay Lightning in the 2022 NHL Draft became the first-round pick to play for MSU since 2008. Our Haley Schoengart was able to catch up with him this week and has more on why MSU was a no-brainer.
What a 2024 you've had so far.
Busting it as Howard gets loose, backhand shot, scores! Isaac Howard busts in and restores the U.S. lead.
For the first time in program history, champions of the Big Ten in the regular season.
How do you begin to describe what these last couple months have been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been, you know, just a ton of positives, obviously, which is awesome, and you know, winning is the best feeling, and you know, I've been able to do that a lot, and you know, now we're getting to the most exciting part of the season even, and you know, I'm just super excited and hopefully can get a couple more trophies.
This wasn't the first time you've been able to wear the nation's colors. What made this World Juniors experience so unique?
Yeah, I would say that was the, you know, the most special time for sure, putting that jersey on, and you know, it was kind of one of, like, you know, you never know if you're gonna put it on again, and it was just you know, so special to go out there and capture gold. And you know, I think the coolest part of that was just playing Sweden in their home country. Like, you know, their fans were electric, and we were able to go in there and win in their building, and you know, it was something I'll remember forever.
USA gold medal winners.
Fast forwarding to last week, again, another big win. Take me through those final few minutes of Game 1 against Wisconsin.
It was awesome, you know. I think kind of when Lebster came in and took it to the end and scored that, you know, that's kind of the feeling that we're gonna win it and get this trophy. And just as the clock was ticking down, it was just super cool to see everyone, you know, how excited they were, and just such a special moment, you know, as a group. And you know, that's what we were working for since July. So that's just one more thing we've won, and you know, we just got to continue to keep that train going.
Victory for MSU and a Big Ten championship for the Spartans.
Even in the summer, the way we were working, you know, you can kind of tell something special is going to happen when you have a full group buying in and, you know, working their tail off all summer. And you know, I'd say pretty early on, you know, just coming to campus, I knew that we could definitely do something special.
And it's unique because it's 15 newcomers all coming together. How were you able to gel so quickly and so efficiently?
That almost helped us in a way, is that we had so many new guys that it just felt like a brand new team. It wasn't like adding 5 guys to a team that's been together for 2-3 years. So I think it was really easy just to come in and gel because there's so many other new guys around.
When you look at your hockey career, it kind of is very similar to some stops Adam Nightingale has had, from Shattuck to the USNTDP to here. When did you first hear that name, Adam Nightingale?
I heard it in the summer going into my 17th year at NTDP. It was Seth Aber was our coach at the time, and you know, I just came off a skate, and all of a sudden he was leaving, going to the American League, and you know, I heard that we're getting a new coach, Adam Nightingale, and I was able to see that he's a Shattuck alum, and you know, I think it's always I mean, it's a great path, you know, great places, Shattuck, USA, and now here. So I think you I knew he was going to be a good guy, and when I met him, obviously he was a great coach and a great guy.
The opportunity arises for you to reconnect with him. How did you come about landing here in East Lansing?
I was just super excited to come here, to be honest, right when I was in the portal, so it was a pretty easy decision, and when they wanted me, obviously I was on full board, and I've loved every minute of it.
I feel like you cannot talk to Isaac Howard unless you talk about the iconic. You know what I'm about to ask.
Yep.
You had one of the more unique fits of the night. Can you take us through your fashion choice?
Yeah, I think I'm the best looking guy here, and I dress the best. Dressed to impress. So.
I think it was like pre-planned. I was just like in the hotel, and I was like, I'm gonna get drafted to the NHL. Like, might as well just have some fun with it. And I think that blew up, and it was kind of funny to see that. You kind of go from just like being a hockey player and enjoying it, and then you get on the national stage and like you say some stuff, it just blows up. So all white suit was kind of just in my closet, and I never really have worn it that much, and I was like, this would be the perfect time to wear it. And I like the color white. I think it's flashy, it looks good.
A snipe from Howard.
The games are only getting higher stakes, better opponents from here. Have you shared any advice to the team having been on a high stakes, big stage, playing in a single elimination game?
No, I don't think I need to with this group. I think we all know what we have to do, and we're all ready to do it. And the most exciting games are coming up, and I think it's awesome that we'll be at home ice too, just to pack Munn Arena and celebrate with the whole city when we win a couple games.
Nightingale has said one of the keys to this team's success this season has been the play of all four lines. Howard has been a key member of the top line, and when we come back, we're going to be catching up with a member of the fourth line, which has caused some major problems for teams this season. We'll see you soon.
This segment is sponsored by MSU Healthcare.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
When Tanner Kelly's frustrations boiled over in Michigan State's first rivalry game with Michigan this season, it led to a mid-season benching. Kelly was not going to let that moment define his season, and he played a big role in Michigan State winning the Big Ten title this season. Our Tyler Driesinga was able to catch up with him this week and has more on the life lessons the sport of hockey has taught him, as well as the lifelong memories it helps create.
I think hockey's taught me a good portion of my life lessons and just turning me into the man that I am today.
For Tanner Kelly, hockey's life lessons started early. He says the first time he put on skates was with his grandparents in Toronto. He was about 2 years old. Nearly 20 years later, the game is still teaching him. Just a couple months ago, there were hard lessons to learn. Kelly racked up 22 penalty minutes in the Spartans' first game against Michigan this season. He was subsequently benched for the next 3 games.
Emotions just kind of got the best of me, and took a couple bad penalties, and I respect the coach's decision to sit me for a couple games. I mean, I understood what I did wrong, and I think just those 2 weeks I was not playing, I just really tried to focus on just working on my game every day and just keep trying to push the guys in practice. And I think he kind of saw like the work ethic I was putting in, and obviously it made the transition back into the lineup pretty easy for me.
After returning to the lineup against Notre Dame, Kelly and the Spartans rekindled the rivalry with Michigan, with the game at Yost Ice Arena and the duel in the D in Detroit the next night. Kelly found redemption that weekend, keeping his emotions in check and scoring a goal in each game. He played a big role in helping MSU earn the sweep and its first duel in the D win since 2016. His play, along with his attitude during and after the benching, impressed his head coach and showed evidence of a lesson learned.
For me, winning that was special, but it was special to see that because, with Tanner to, respond the right way when you're held accountable and then get rewarded. That's a pretty special moment for me as a coach.
In recent weeks, the game has continued to teach. The Spartans have worked all year long on the subject of what it takes to be a champion. Last Friday, they aced the final exam, beating Wisconsin 5-2 to secure the program's first ever Big Ten title.
What emotions were you feeling when that final horn sounded and you guys were Big Ten champs?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, it's hard to describe the feeling. We worked so hard for that, and for me especially, just being here at the program when it was kind of at an all-time low, and now just being at the top of the Big Ten, you know, it's a really good feeling, and, you know, I wouldn't want to do it with any other group of guys.
Is there any one moment that sticks out that, you know, when you look back on winning a Big Ten title years from now, you know, that's what I'll remember about that night?
Seeing like the seniors raise the trophy in the locker room after, I've been with those guys for a couple of years now, and I just see the hard work they put in. Just so to see those guys get that trophy, you know, in their last year here, made me feel really good for them, and obviously for the group as well. It was big for us.
Obviously, you've got a lot of goals ahead of you guys yet this season, but what will be the lasting impact of this season on the program?
I mean, I think we're just building every year. I think this program's just only going uphill, and we want to be the best program in the country. And I think we're just kind of laying the foundation for what this program is to be in the next 5, 10, 15 years.
And from the benching to scoring 2 goals against Michigan to becoming a Big Ten champ, what will be the lasting impact of this season on you as an individual?
I mean, learned a lot of lessons throughout this season. You know, when things aren't going your way and times are tough, I think I just learned a lot this season to just keep putting your head down and working, and really just never giving up, and just having big goals. You know, I think sometimes you set the bar too low. I think it's good to set the bar high and just put your best foot forward every day and work towards becoming the best.
Kelly's freshman year here at MSU was when Danton Cole was the head coach, and he has really grown under Adam Nightingale's system. This season, he has set a career high with 8 goals and tied a career high with 16 points. We need to take one final break, and when we come back, we're going to be chatting with MSU men's basketball coach Tom Izzo about this week's memorable Senior Day.
This segment is sponsored by the Lansing Sports Commission.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
On Thursday, the Michigan State men's basketball team picked up a Senior Day victory over Northwestern, 53-49 the final, which ended a 3-game losing streak for MSU. The win wasn't the prettiest, as MSU shot 21% in the first half, but nonetheless, the Spartans were able to pick up their 10th Big Ten win of the season and their 12th straight win on Senior Day. There was a lot to unpack from the special night here at the Breslin Center, and we had a chance to sit down with head coach Tom Izzo to talk about it all this week.
All of a sudden, I felt like I was spending too much time with you. It was so.
For me, having my son, you know, they're all my guys, and yet your son's your son.
To stand on this court and kiss that floor, if you can, put into words what you are feeling at this exact moment.
I'm so thankful that he allowed me to walk on 5 years ago.
The two of you had the interview with Andy Katz after the game, and Steven seemed very emotional. What has this been like this last 5 years, having him on the team with you?
The last 5 years has been a pain in the butt in some ways, because Steven's never acted like it was as big a deal, and that bothered me, if you want the truth. And I'm sure it was a bigger deal than I knew. But this last week, it was like made the other 4.5 years worth it, because he was so different. You know, just like you tell everybody, you know, oh, I can't wait till I get out of school. Oh, I can't wait till I get done with basketball. Oh, I can't wait. You know, like everybody does. And then when they do it, they say, oh, damn. And that's what I caught. I caught an oh shucks moment. And this whole week he's been different, and it's been so much fun to see, and so much fun to see him grow, and so much fun to see him be a part of things. And I asked him on the floor, I said, was it worth it? And I mean, you know, I used to get it, yeah, Dad, you know, it was cool, you know. And this one was tear-jerking, it was emotional, it was a smile from ear to ear. It was every second, every one of your long meetings, every one of the practices, every second. This made it worth it.
Just Senior Day as a whole for you guys, obviously it's a very special night, kissing the Spartan head. When did you start to understand the importance of it here at Michigan State?
What a great question, you know. I think the Big Ten Network did a big thing on it, and, you know, I talked to him then, and But when it meant the most to me, I was here when Sean did it. Thought nothing of it, you know, just something Sean Respert did. Cool, because it spoke volumes to really how much it meant to him. And then when Mateen did it, it was the same way, you know. And then when everybody started following. And then, you know, I had a good friend who played hockey here a couple of years ago, and when I went over there and they did it. And then when I found out, you know, I started the tradition where managers and secretaries, anybody who touched the program gets to have the privilege. And as I was watching something that Draymond Green was quoted as saying, it was really, really cool. And maybe this is when it hit home more than ever. He said, in high school, I kissed the S when we won the state championship. And he said it, and it's the only regret I have of winning that state championship. I was watching it and I was thinking, why is that a regret, you know? He said, I hadn't earned it. I hadn't earned the right to kiss the S. I hadn't spent my 4 years there. I hadn't spent my time. I hadn't blood, sweat, and teared it, gone through it. And that makes all those hard times so gratifying that somebody would look at it that way. So now when I find out that the Izzone lines up on their senior night and does it, I think Stephen said it in one of his speeches that the Jim Nance, you know, it's like no other. Our senior night is like no other.
With MSU wrapping up the regular season on Sunday at Indiana, this is actually going to be the final episode of the season of the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show. So we really do appreciate you tuning in each and every week to see the latest on Michigan State athletics, especially you, Mrs. Gaffney. And we hope to see you back here in the fall as the Jonathan Smith era begins for Michigan State football. Until then, catch you later.
This segment is sponsored by Spartan Dogs for Life.